Hello to you, my name is Colin Northway, I am the author of Incredipede, and I would like to show you a little bit about how the game works, how to play it, the basics. Here's the first world. It's got a nice tutorial built in, but I already know how to play, so I'm going to go right to the sandbox. So Incredipede is a game about Quazzle, and this is Quazzle here, and she has to overcome various difficulties and challenges. This is just the sandbox, so there's not very much here to give her trouble, but it's a fun place to play around. So Quazzle can change her shape by adding limbs and muscles to herself. She can turn into pretty much anything. You do that really simply just by clicking on her to make a limb. There's one. There's another one. You can build limbs on limbs. You can build limbs in all kind of crazy directions. You can move them around. That's the delicious sound design of Jordan Fair there. Art by the very talented Thomas Shahan. So you can make some muscles, but you can make legs, but legs on their own not particularly interesting. You can make her, I don't know, teeter over a little bit, but not much. So to get stuff really going, you want to add some muscles. And so these little pink circles, this is some temp art still, but these little pink circles let you add muscles. So we can add a muscle here and a muscle over here. And then with the muscles, I can use the keyboard to control the muscles. So now I can kind of make her do a little dance. And so this is just me hitting left and right arrows. And then you can change it around. So I can move these up here so she kind of wave around in the sky. Give her little legs to hold up on. Help me! I'm trapped! And maybe I'll leave that there. Well, let's try this actually. So here's a common thing people do the first time they start playing. So you see it's really easy to add muscles and bones, and that's all there is to creation. And then controlling it is just two keys. So you can get all kinds of different kinds of motion. So if I wanted this to move instead of just spin in place, I could do something like this. Now she's on the go. She can turn around, kind of go the other way. Well, except her tail gets caught. And so you can build all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Just mess around and build something. What if I do something like this? And I can kind of drag myself along to a kind of leap, and it's easy to delete to delete a limb, you just drag it right back. It's really simple. So there's two colors of muscles. There are pink muscles and there are purple muscles. So if I use two pink muscles, then I hit the right button, then these will both spin in the same direction. And if I use two purple muscles and hit the right button, then they will spin in the opposite direction. So the only difference between the two muscles is that they spin in opposite directions. So this gets interesting when I use one of each color. Now I get this different kind of motion. So one of the interesting things you can do with that is you can make kind of piston-y motions. If I oppose these two muscles, then oops, give her a little wider feet. Then I get this kind of like counter-rotated piston-y motion. And if I made them the same, I would get this kind of motion instead. So the astute amongst you will notice that instead of an actual muscle might move through 180 degrees like this, In Incredipede, the muscles move more like a shoulder instead of like an elbow. For a lot of development, it did actually move like a shoulder, just 180 degrees, but that game is incredibly hard to play, and trust me, you don't want to play it. So 360 degrees is great, because you can do simple, really simple shapes that can actually move, like, here's kind of a mud skipper. Kind of a nice basic causal shaped. Can go both directions. So you can get all kinds of effects with just those two kinds of muscles. So that's the basics of building, which is the heart of the game. You can see it's simple. I don't think anyone will be terribly confused by it. It's easy to get all kinds of interesting behavior out of it. Fascinated by this. I'm still fascinated by my own game. Alright, that's all for this time. Thanks very much for watching. More to come.